I didn't think this would be my first video of 2023, but here we are. So, the Nintendo Direct came out, February Direct came out, and I have very mixed feelings about this Direct, and I guess what's happening at Nintendo. It's very weird to think about. So, I watched the Direct live while at work, and going into it, I'm like, I don't know anything. I wasn't keeping up with any of the rumors like I usually do. I wasn't keeping up with anything like major. I was mostly just kind of there in the moment. And this is all unscripted. I'm just kind of just sitting down here after work and I'm just like, you know what? I have some thoughts about this Direct. So sitting down and I'm watching this thing, I'm like, okay, cool. There are actually some pretty cool games. Like at first you see Pikmin. I'm like, okay, I'm not the biggest Pikmin fan. I played the first two, but I never could get into the series. Maybe if I was more of a Pikmin fan, this Direct would have been more for me. And then it showed some other stuff. And then it showed some expansion packs, like Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Again, haven't really gotten time to get into that series, so it wasn't for me. I bet other fans are really excited about it. It's a series I want to get into, and probably will, but I just need to make time. And then I got into some of the weirder stuff like Amigo, like the Amigo Party Central, fashion designer. The Dead Cells thing is pretty cool with Castlevania. That's actually a really cool little thing. Event and Tron Identity's like, okay, it's a Tron game. That doesn't seem that interesting. It seems like a light novel and some other stuff. I guess the only game that, like, if I'm going chronologically here, that really interests me right now is the detective game, Deca Police. That actually kind of really got my interest a lot, and I'm really interested to see how well that game is. So if I have all the new properties, I guess this is the one that I'm like, ooh, this looks pretty fun. Bayonetta, I'm interested in that one. I don't play Splatoon, so another expansion pass kind of goes beyond me. Disney, Fire Emblem Engage, that's a series, that's a game I want to play soon too. Again, DLC, I'm like, okay. And they keep going. Octopath Traveler 2, want to get into that. Katamari. Some of these are just like, okay, whatever. They're not my things. Advanced Wars, I'm very interested in. I loved the games when I was playing. So I can't wait to get the remaster versions, see how they are after all this time. Kirby Dream Land, excited to play that game. And then we start getting to the things that really excited me. And then I had to take a step back and be like, oh crap. My narcissism is coming in. My pessimistic attitude is coming through. Because I'm like, oh cool. We're getting flipping Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games on the Switch for the ESO service. And you can do that for the expansion pack. They're showing off some really cool games. I'm excited to maybe get more Pokemon games again. We can transfer stuff. Maybe we can do something cool with that. Maybe they're finally able to do all that. And then after that, Metroid Prime Remastered. Sweet, they're finally bringing back Metroid Prime. The HD remaster that we've always wanted from the series is coming to us. We're also getting physical. And then there's some other ones I'm like, okay, they're not my cup of tea. Professor Layton and some other remasters. Mario Cut Deluxe, that's cool. And some other little things. I can't wait to get the Mega Man Battle Galaxy collection and some other stuff. And then like Tears of the Kingdom. Oh, I can't wait for this damn game. Even though it feels like I don't know what the changes are, if you get what I'm saying. It's Breath of the Wild, but reskinned in a way. It's interesting. So I'm all excited, like, again, Metroid Prime, Switch, Zelda, or Metroid Prime, Game Boy, Zelda, and some other little stuff, Dreamland, and some of these other little titles. I'm like, oh, that's kind of interesting. And Twitter was down too. I couldn't like exclaim like, oh my god, this is all coming. So I went to my coworkers and be like, you guys aren't watching this, but I need to at least talk to some people that know what Nintendo is and be like, holy crap, this is really cool. And about like 20 minutes in and 20 minutes after, I'm kind of just seeing Twitter come back. And I noticed some posts being like, oh, Metroid Prime, the remaster, the remake, that's a $40 game. And it's not for a collection. It's just for one game. And then I'm now like, wait a minute. The ESO service. I can play all these Game Boy games again. But it goes back to ESO being like, if that service goes away in the next 10 years, they're gone again. This collection's gone. All of it's gone again. Which is honestly a shame because I'm like, I hate that I was so excited about all this cool stuff, but it's like Nintendo keeps on just pushing it back. Even the Zelda's $70. I'm actually a little frustrated about Zelda being $70 because I'm trying to think of where the costs of that $70 are coming from. The more I look at the new Legend of Zelda, it is basically a new game on the same map, but with maybe some new additions, if that makes sense. So I'm just kind of like, why is this game $70 instead of like the regular $60? Like, what cost in development? You're not making too many new assets. You're revamping a system in already a pre-existing map with pre-existing assets. The graphics don't look like they've changed or improved that much at all. It's pretty much the same, but you're getting some new additions, new features. So I'm trying to figure out why this must cost $70 too. And we're also, it feels like we're nearing the end of the Switch's lifespan too. So the fact that we're getting all this cool stuff like the ESO service with Game Boy and everything like that, if Switch is going to be, and again, this is all theoretical right now I'm going with, but like, if the Switch is going to be dead in 2 years, why should I be excited about Game Boy games coming to an almost dead console soon? It bewilders me of why Nintendo must keep doing this. And again, the one I'm more pissed about is like, cool, we now have Metroid Prime Remastered. It's a $40 game for one instead of, getting a trilogy. It's so weird that we don't have a trilogy for this. Like, guys, it's been how many years since Metroid Prime 4 has been teased and you guys still haven't released this? And it's also more of the trilogy collection for the Wii. That thing's going to be fun to get for some people. It's going to be gone on the Wii shop soon. And getting the trilogy is a pain in the butt. And getting each individual game basically costs up to that trilogy, I guess. So maybe it's worth it for some people, but at the same time, it's just weird that that's even a thing that we have to deal with. And also, now I'm just kind of curious who even did the remaster, who were the developers on that. Because if it was retro, then that's kind of interesting. I'm going to quickly actually look. I'm not seeing... And I'm not recording my screen, unfortunately, so it's kind of sucks. But I'm not seeing anyone say who is the developer for this, which is kind of interesting. Usually the site for Nintendo has the studio at times. Am I crazy? Publisher level 5 for Digipolice, because that's the one I was kind of looking at. Publisher Nintendo. Yeah, I don't know who made the remaster, which is actually kind of interesting because usually when we see this stuff, they usually say developed by this person, developed by that, or even we have interviews or stuff like that. Since this game just dropped on us like a freaking sack of bricks, I can't even see who even did this remastered for Metroid Prime, which is interesting. Maybe I have to do more digging. But it's very weird that I can't even find the developer for this, because I'm actually kind of curious about that. Like, the first thing that comes up is Retro Studios, but no, that's not it. It's not saying that. That's actually kind of interesting that we don't know who the developer of this remaster trilogy is. That's actually kind of interesting. That's really weird. Maybe it was an internal studio maybe it was Nintendo internally that did this, which is kind of cool, but it's very weird. So again, it sucks that for some reason we only get remastered for one of the trilogy. And heck, there's even more prime content out there. There's technically pinball and there's technically hunters and everything like that. Or yeah, I believe it's hunters. So it's just kind of weird to just be like, okay, just you guys get one of the 3 games, and we'll think about what happens with the other lost games that's going to come out soon. It's so fickle. It sucks that I just have to be. It's like, cool, I get Game Boy games, but only for a few years possibly. Cool, I get a Metroid game, but it's $40 and it's only one of the trilogy. When that it honestly should be probably $60 for the whole trilogy. I would have been happy for that. $40 for one? No, that's so dumb. Like I can justify Dead Space a little bit because Dead Space was a full like remake. Well, this is a remaster, so I don't know. Maybe the price of games are just too much for me these days. And then just thinking that we're also near the end. It feels like we're near the end of the Switch's life cycle. And I think that's the thing that pisses me off the most is like, how much are you going to be doing this, guys? How much, like, we've seen Pokemon, we've seen Bayonetta, we've seen a lot more of these newer games having these technical issues that show the Switch's age. And then when you do Zelda as a $70 game where it feels like it's just same map with some new additions and maybe some new gameplay elements, what are you doing, Nintendo? It's very weird. So, I don't know. This is kind of like my little mini rant of how I felt about the Direct. I want to be excited. There's so many cool games. I wish I was more a Pikmin fan. I wish I was more of a Xenoblade fan and a little more of this stuff. I'm really interested in Deca Police. I'm interested in Kirby and Octopath and some of these other titles. But when I see the Switch Online expansion pack with, these cool titles that I love, I want to own them like VC. It just sucks back in the day that no one supported VC as much. So it's annoying. It's just so annoying to just think about, crap, you guys are so close, but yet so far with some of the stuff being good. It pisses me off. So what do you guys think about that Direct? Are you being pessimistic like me, or are you just going to enjoy what you got and be happy with life? Please tell me in the comments below. Yes, my first video of 2023, and it's me ranting about a Nintendo Direct like everyone else is doing. I promise you, there are videos being made. It's just some of them are taking longer than expected to make. And I also get very distracted with making them at times. Hopefully there'll be another video out this weekend. That one I'm actually currently recording, and I'll probably be editing tomorrow. And then we'll see what happens next few weeks, because there's some plans I want to make, but we'll see what happens. One of my videos is going to be very oddly late, but I already recorded and it's halfway done, and they'll be out sometime. I just need to sit down and actually edit. But anyways, what do you guys think about the Nintendo Direct? In the moment, I was enjoying it, but after sitting down and thinking of the Switch's lifespan and our slippery descent into video game preservation being dwindled and remasters costing too much without the whole package, kind of sucked for me today. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Bye.